family for joining.
Hare Krishna. I think
Gauranga.
Prem Prakash
So,
Babu joined back.
Haribol, Jai Ho,
Hare
Gaura
Krishna.
Hari, welcome to each and every family to joining us on this wonderful afternoon for Sunday program. Please forgive my technicalities I'm having with my computer. Not really a computer person, so please accept my humble obeisances. Vanchakarapatrubyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayavicha Patitana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. So, like every other Sunday program, we're going to start with wonderful Srila Prabhupada Arti, which will be sung by Pranava Prabhu. And then
Prabhuji, sorry, Jairad is here, so her children can sing if you don't mind.
Jai Ho, I love these wonderful live changes that we're going on. So great, we're having these technical difficulties because it's given the families time to arrive at the temple to do Srila Prabhupada Arti. What a great honor it is to honor Srila Prabhupada as well. So these wonderful children that's growing up in a Vaishnava family. And then after that, after Srila Prabhupada Arti, I'll have to go back to my phone. We'll have a video, a little talk about Srila Prabhupada. And then we're going to have a bhajan kirtan by Noble Kohli and Ba. And then we're going to go and have Jai Radha Madhav sung and class by Raghupati Prabhu. And then Gaura Arti is back to Jai Radhe and family. And then Arti Kirtans to Jai Radhe. And then Namaste Narsingaya by Mrs. Dharat. After all that, so now we'll go back to the temple. If the temple can unmute, because you are muted, and then we'll start the program by Srila Prabhupada Arti. Jai Ho, Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Guru Dharana Bhasma Kevala Bhakti Sarva Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sarva Bando Isavadana Mare Bando Isavadana Mate Yahara Prasade Sai Eva Batoria Yahai Yahara Prasade Sai Eva Batoria Yahai चक्षुदन दिलों में चमने चमने प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो प्रेम भक्ति यहाँ होते अविद्या विनाशयते प्रेम भक्ति यहाँ होते अविद्या विनाशयते वेदेगाय हरचरितो वेदेगाय हरचरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधमा जनार बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधमा जनार बंधु लोकनाथ लोकेर जीवाना लोकनाथ लोकेर जीवाना प्रभु मोरो दोया देहो मोरे पाद छाया हा प्रभु मोरो दोया देहो मोरे पाद छाया एवे ऐसा कुछ त्रिभुवाना एवे ऐसा कुछ त्रिभुवाना शिला प्रभुपाद पतिता भवाना शिला प्रभुपाद पतिता भवाना दुई पदे लैला शराना दुई पदे लैला शराना जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल 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 हरि बोल
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद गुरु पूजा की जय गुरु महाराज की जय बोल मांगे हरि हरि बोल जय
Jai Ho, Jai Guru Vansha Prabhupada ki Jai. That was a wonderful service at the temple honoring Srila Prabhupada. And it was nice to see the youngsters with their mother singing the Aarti. So thank you very much, Jai Radhe. And the kids, it's especially when the children are honoring the Acharya, it's so wonderful because there's longevity of the movement. It's okay, the elderly or mid-elderly honoring, but to see the children honoring Srila Prabhupada, what a wonderful, I love it. So now we will have a small video by Srila Prabhupada guiding us. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
By Parvati to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva and Parvati, husband and wife. Parvati means the material nature. Sisti sthiti palaya sadhana shakti reka chai vajasa bhavanani vibhati Durga. Durga Devi. Durga Devi is in charge of this material world. It is called Durga. Durga just like fort. And the superintendent of this fort is Durga. You cannot go out of this fort. You are imprisoned. Such Durga Devi, who is so powerful energy, she can create, annihilate, maintain. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana. She is always sitting by the side of her husband, Lord Shiva, and questioning about spiritual inquiries. You see, such powerful deity is also ignorant about spiritual life. So the husband, Lord Shiva, is Vaishnava, and she is always asking, and sitting down underneath a bale tree. She can create so many universes, but for her, no building, only underneath the tree. So the question was, which worship is best? So Lord Shiva replied, Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnu aradhanam param. My dear Parvati, of all methods of worship, Vishnu worship is the topmost. There are many demigods worship, even Lord Shiva's worship, but Lord Shiva says Vishnu worship is the best. Then he says again, Tasmat Paratanang Devi, my dear Devi, better than that Vishnu worship is Tadyanam Aradhanam. Tadya means those who are in relationship with Vishnu. Tadya, just like his devotee, Tadya. Tulsi Vriksha, Tulsi is Tadya. A temple, Tadya. Preaching, Tadya. Tadyanam Aradhanam. This is Bhagavat. So, Lord Shiva recommends that of all methods of worship, Vishnu worship is the best, and better than Vishnu worship is to worship his devotee or things in relationship with him. Tadhyana, that is Bhagavat. Here it is also said, Tadhyana Bhagavata Sevaya. This book Bhagavat, spoken by the devotee Bhagavan, this should be taken very seriously daily. Otherwise, we do not understand what is Bhagavan. Therefore it is recommended here, Nityam, daily or constantly, 24 hours.
You are on mute, Prabhuji.
I was enjoying the message so much, I was lost in thought, and then all of a sudden the message was cut, because I was thinking, while I was listening to Srila Prabhupada, that sorry, I was so excited listening to Srila Prabhupada that we only have 2 hours, and then I guarantee if you got Vidar Prabhu involved and Haridas Prabhu, just on this small video clip, you could have endless discussion and the 2 hours would be gone. We wouldn't even get a chance to listen to other devotees. What a wonderful statement that Srila Prabhupada said, that Lord Shiva to his consort was talking about devotional service. I can't say the things that Srila Prabhupada was saying, that she's in charge but she does not know devotional service. And how wonderful Srila Prabhupada describes that, and then we need to read. So if Lord Shiva is describing this to his consort, what are we? We are just ignorant. If that is Srila Prabhupada's description, of such a higher beings, far higher than us on this Mrityu Lok, what about us? And Durga Mata is the supreme controller. Yes? We barely, we get up in the morning or the afternoon or whatever part of the day, we get into the car. Yes? We get into the car and we feel in control. That little small steering wheel. But any mishap, the car's gone. But here's the Durga Mata who's...
Tell me the color key you'd like to select.
So Durga Mata is controlling our planetary system and keeping us all bound. And then Srila Prabhupada saying still does not know who to worship. Hey, just listen to that concept. So we, as souls that are bound on this planet, we have to listen to the great acharyas and take their instructions, which was by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada said, we must read Bhagavatam daily, if not 24 hours, which will, just by reading and chanting and listening, we can be purified by the mercy of Guru and Gauranga. What a wonderful message that was. Honestly, you could debate that 6-minute video for hours and hours by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. But then our program, it'll be just lost. Just debating, and devotees will be saying, we're running late again. So without any more further ado, we'll go to the program at the temple for Kirtans, which will be sung by, if you just give me an opportunity to honor the devotees, to get their names right, if I go into my phone, which will be sung by Novel Kohli and family and Ba. I hope I got that right? So over to the temple. Jai Ho, Gauranga. Thank you very much, Noble Prabhu. That was wonderful to hear the devotees doing Kirtan in the temple room. It's been a while, and the last 2 Sundays, it's been really wonderful. Hearing the devotees sitting in the temple, taking darshan of the lordships and soaking in their mercy. So thank you very much. And now is there anybody else doing Kirtan from the temple? I haven't missed anybody.
No, Ba would be doing the Kirtan, right, Ba? Yeah, Ba would be doing it, Prabhuji.
Okay, so can we ask Abba to start Kirtan?
Yeah. Yeah, Ba, you can start.
चालू कर दो
हाँ चालू करी दो.
तरी भक्ति भव भाव या पोरण छोड़रा एक ज छे मारी प्रार्थना એમાં નડતા બંધનને કાપો માધવરાય એક જ છે મારી પ્રાર્થના તારી ભક્તિ ભવભાવ આપો રણ છોડરાય એક જ છે મારી પ્રાર્થના નામ રટું હું દિન રાત તારું થાય અંતરમાં અજવાળું તારા મારગડે હામના હારું રણ છોડરાય એક જ છે મારી પ્રાર્થના તારી ભક્તિ ભવભાવ આપો રણ છોડરાય એક જ છે મારી પ્રાર્થના મોહ માયાના બંધન મારા છૂટે સ્નેહ તારો કદી નવ ખૂટે મારી આશાની દોરના તૂટે વિઠ્ઠલ રાય એક જ છે મારી પ્રાર્થના તારી ભક્તિ ભવભાવ આપો રણ છોડરાય એક જ છે મારી પ્રાર્થના તારી ગોપીનો એક છે દાવો મને તારી માની અપનાવો અંતે દેજો દર્શનનો લાવો રણ છોડરાય એક જ છે મારી પ્રાર્થના અંતે દેજો દર્શનનો લાવો રણ છોડરાય એક જ છે મારી પ્રાર્થના તારી ભક્તિ ભવભાવ આપો રણ છોડરાય એક જ છે મારી પ્રાર્થના એમાં નડતા બંધનને કાપો માધવરાય એક જ છે મારી પ્રાર્થના શ્રી રાધે કૃષ્ણ રાધે કૃષ્ણ રાધે કૃષ્ણ
जय गौरंगा। हरि बोल माता जी, आप कैसे हो?
हाँ ठीक है, तुम कैसे हो? अच्छा है।
ठीक हो, बड़ी देर दंडवत प्रणाम, आपकी बड़ी देर बाद दर्शन मिले हमें
नमस्कार
करके।
नमस्कार।
हम तो अभी सब घरों से ही नहीं बाहर निकलते।
What?
We never leave our houses now due to coronavirus, so we are not seeing each other at the temple regularly. So I've taken darshan of you after a very long time.
Sorry,
Jai Ho, Haribol. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for Kirtan. Jai Ho, Gauranga. So now we're going to ask Raghupati ji. Has Raghupati ji joined? Because Raghupati ji will be doing Jai Radha Madhav and class. maybe he hasn't joined. Is Raghupati ji doing class from the temple or is he doing?
From home, Prabhuji. He's doing it from his home, yeah.
Oh, okay. Pranva Prabhuji, can you text him please to find out is he joining?
Yes, sir. One sir.
Yeah, thank you. So while we are waiting, so like that prayer by Lord Shivji was glorifying the Lord and the Lord's devotee. So there's another prayer written by Lord Shiva, which, listening to Srila Prabhupada's video, and I get excited by it. The prayer is Shri Radha Kripa Kataksha, and it's also it's also narrated by Lord Shivji to Mother Parvati. So it's another wonderful prayer. And this prayer is describing the glorifications of Srimati Radharani, who is the highest, topmost gopi of Sri Krishna, and the devotees, and there's devotee from Coventry, when they go to Radhakund, they stand in Radhakund and they narrate this. Yeah, so just the first verse, because Lord Shivji has narrated so many wonderful. This is taken from one of the tantras. So it says the first one, O Goddess, worshipped by the kings of sages, O Goddess who remove the suffering of the three worlds, O Goddess whose face is a blossoming lotus, O Goddess who enjoys pastimes in the forest, O daughter of Brishvanu, O companion of Vraja's prince, when will you cast your merciful sidelong glance upon me? So what a wonderful verses that are written and translated by devotees. And that's just the first one. And you could talk about this verse for hours. Like how has Radharani been so merciful to us? Because she has allowed us to worship Shri Krishna, because to worship Shri Krishna is not that easy. Especially on this planet, there's so many distractions. There's so many pullings going on. You get pulled different directions every single day. Yeah, there are very few times that you actually get pulled towards bhakti. At Rath Yatra, when you're pulling the rope, you're pulling yourself towards bhakti. But every day an effort, an extra effort, because now the temple is slowly opening. But during the coronavirus, everybody had to make their own effort. Yes, so how do you making your own effort? By glorifying the Lord and His devotees, by begging for their mercies, saying, allow me to take shelter of Guru and Gauranga. These mercies are not very easily achieved. Just that verse alone, the first one of glorifying Srimati Radharani, is not very easy. Jai Ho, Raghupati is here. Jai Ho, Danvat Pranam Prabhuji. I love your backdrops. I'll have to do something. I keep saying I will have to do something, but I never do it. I don't know whether that's me being lazy or I don't even look into it or what. But your
It's looking nice. I mean, it suits whatever mood you have. It just shows your mood.
So your backdrop is amazing. The new temple. I mean, in your backdrop, it looks as if it's complete. It must be an artist impression, yes?
Yeah.
Jai Ho. So I hand over the rest of the afternoon program to you, Prabhuji, up to Aarti. Aarti is going to be around 6 p.m. So normally I take up too much of your time. So Jai Ho, Gauranga.
Go ahead.
Jai Ho.
Hare Krishna. Okay, I'll be online in a second. Okay, so we're going to just sing Lord Ram's prayer, Dashavatar Stotram by Jayadev Goswami. Hare Krishna, everyone. So we're very fortunate to have this opportunity to be able to remember the pastimes and glories of Lord Shri Ram in preparation to coming Shri Ram Navami festival. So what we decided to do is to start with Dashavatar Stotra, particularly the prayer to Lord Ramachandra. I can put it on the screen. Okay. This verse number 7. Number 7. Vitrasi dikshurane dikpati kamaniyam dashmukmale balim ramaniyam. Vitrasi dikshurane dikpati kamaniyam dashmukmale balim ramaniyam. केशवुद्धीता राम शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवुद्धीता राम शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे वित्रसि दीक्षुरणे दिक्पति कमनीयम् दशमुख मौलिवलिंगमणीयम् वित्रसि दीक्षुरणे दिक्पति कमनीयम् दशमुख मौलिवलिंगमणीयम् केशवुद्धीता राम शरीरा केशवुद्धीता राम शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय सच्चिनंदन जय निताय च सच्चिनंदन जय निताय च जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर जय राधा माधव राधा Madhav Radhe. Jai Radha Gokulanand Radha Gokulanand Radhe. Jai Radha Landineshwar Radha Landineshwar Radhe. Jai Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra. Sai Gore Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Gurudev. Jamishbad Brahmaspurvajikacharya Shri Srimad Krishna Kripa Shrimurti Sri Bhaktivedanta Maharaj Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Samaved Bhakti Vrind ki jai. Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. Maryada Purushottam Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. Lakshmi Swarupa Shri Sitaram Sita Mata ji ki jai. Samaved Bhakti Vrind ki jai. Nitai Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Guranga. All glories to Sri Prabhupada. Umagyanatimirandhasya Gyananjan Shalakaya Chakshunminitamena Tasma Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yen Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utpadikamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagan Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenbandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanto Radha Kant Namostute Tapti Kanchani Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vanchakalptarubhayasya Sindhubhevicha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pungam langhayate girim yatkapatam vande paramananda madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pate Namah. Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. So, in few days' time, we will be celebrating Shri Rama Navami. the most auspicious appearance of Lord Ramchandra. So if we look at the incarnations of Krishna, the incarnation as Lord Ramchandra has been the most popular. And so much so that even in Brajabhumi, Vrindavan, Mathura, Govardhan, in Brajmandal, people greet each other. Brajavasi, they greet each other by saying Ram Ram. So that is the greeting in the morning. People have the greeting Ram Ram. And it's so nice. I remember growing up and people greeting each other by saying Ram Ram in the morning. So it's so famous, the incarnation of Krishna as Ram. Lord Ramchandra's incarnation has become so popular. And we can just imagine the popularity that every state of India, every language of India will have its own Ramayana. And if you go outside India, then the nearby countries, particularly Indonesia, Sumatra, and Malaysia. Now, both of these countries have become Islamic state. But the influence of Ramayana is so deep-rooted that Indonesia has its own version of Ramayana. And in their national festivals, Ramayana is enacted. One time, the Indonesian actors came to India. These actors, they play Ramayana. And they became very popular. They wanted to travel all over India. So Ramayana is very popular. An incarnation of Krishna as Lord Ram is very popular because the Lord is epitome of everything. The friendship, the relationships, and his love for the citizens of Ayodhya, his prowess, his beauty. So he is the complete personality of Godhead. And as Lord Ramchandra, his incarnation is very pleasing. The scripture says, Ramanti Yognananti Satyanantidatni Tatiram Padinaso. So, Tat Ramanti Yognananti Satyanantidatni Ram Shabdavidhiyati. Many great sages meditate on the Supreme Lord, and therefore he is known as Ram. So we find there are many Ramas, but the original personality of Godhead is Lord Shri Ram, Dashrath Nandan Ram. And Adi Kavi Valmiki is the celebrated author, the original poet, original author of Ramayana. So earlier on we sang a bhajan from Jayadev Goswami. And before we move on to contemplate on the meaning of Jayadev Goswami's song, Dashavatat Stotra, glorifying Lord Ramchandra's incarnation. Let us look at whatever Acharyas, particularly Rupa Goswami, has written about Lord Ramchandra. Rupa Goswami wrote a very beautiful stanza. The meaning of that stanza is that once in Brajabhumi, Balakrishna, Lord Krishna, along with Balaram, he was residing, and one day Mother Yashoda was reciting Ramayana to Krishna himself. So Mother Yashoda was reciting Ramayana, and Krishna was responding. Baby Krishna, young Krishna was responding. Mother Yashoda, like the mothers, they sing songs to their young children and they tell them stories. So Krishna was listening story of Ramayana from Mother Yashoda. And Mother Yashoda was completely absorbed, singing the glories of Lord Ramchandra. How Maharaj Dasharath obtained Lord Ram as his son after doing the sacrifice, Putra Kameshti Yagya. How the Lord grew up in the ashram of Vasishtha Muni, and how Vishwamitra Muni came and took him away to safeguard his sacrifice. Then Lord goes to Janakpuri and marries Sita Devi. So Mother Yashoda was telling this story to Krishna. And Krishna was completely absorbed in listening. And Mother Yashoda was completely absorbed in reciting and telling this story. So when the incident of Ramayana or Ravana came, that Ravana abducted Sita Devi, immediately Krishna got up. And he said, Lakshman, Lakshman, bring my bow and arrow. I'll kill this Ravana right away. So Mother Yashoda was completely shocked. Said, what? Why are you behaving like this? So Krishna, without telling her the secret, that actually Mother Yashoda was telling Krishna his own story. And he is non-different from Lord Ram. So Rupa Goswami then prays that such Lord Krishna, who becomes agitated by hearing his own story of Ramayana from the mouth of his mother, Yashoda, may bless us all. So Keshavadhreta Ram Sharira Jai Jagadisha. Earlier on we were singing this stanza. Vitarasi Dikchurane Dikpati Kamaniyam Dashmukh Maul Balim Ramaniyam Keshavadhreta Ram Sharira Jai Jagadisha Hare. So from Dashavatar Stotra, we sing Nursing Vandra every day in our temples. So I selected this verse from Dashavatar Stotra, 10 principal incarnations of Krishna. In every stanza you see Keshavadhreta Narahari Rupa, Keshavadhreta Bhragupati Rupa, Keshavadhreta Kurma Sharira, and then Keshavadhreta Ram Sharira. Jai Jagadisha Hari. O Keshav, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Ramachandra, all glories to you. In the battle of Lanka, you destroyed the 10-headed demon Ravana and distribute his heads as a delightful offering to the presiding deities of the 10 directions, headed by Indra. This action was long desired by all of them, who were much harassed by this monster. So Lord Ramchandra brought delight to the predominating deities of 10 directions. He took the heads, Ravana's 10 heads, and distributed them to all the predominating deities to be happy. So the story of Ramayana has been narrated and many versions of Ramayana. And if the devotees have the opportunity, then we should read Valmiki Ramayana, which is the original Ramayana. And apart from that, there are many other Ramayana which have become very popular. Like in North India, we have Ramcharitmanas by Goswami Tulsidas, extremely popular. In Bengal, you have Krittivas Ramayana in Bengali. Similarly, in South India, you have Ramayana of Kamban. So every state of India will have their own version of Ramayana. Well, Valmiki Ramayana is considered to be the most authentic, the original Ramayana, and all other versions of Ramayana actually were inspired by Valmiki Ramayana. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we also find some description of Ramayana, Ramalila. But Shukdev Goswami tells Maharaj Parikshit that I'm not going to elaborate on Ramakatha so much because you have been hearing Ramakatha from your childhood. So Ramakatha was famous even 5,000 years ago. That Shukdev Goswami only briefly describes Ramakatha in 9th canto, because there are so many Ramayana. There are some opinions that Lord Vyasdev became inspired by hearing Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, and then he compiled many Puranas. So Ramayana has deep impact in people's life because the Lord's incarnation as Ram, the pleasing personality of Godhead, gives pleasure to everyone. When the Lord was born, everything in Ayodhya became jubilant. Everyone was happy, and the citizens were happy. The entire creation was happy. Then Lord Ramchandra starts growing up, and time to time he makes some mischief. He is insistent, and Mother Kaushalya has to fulfill his demands. So Lord Ram gave pleasure to everyone. Anyone who saw him will become enamored by his beauty. So he's growing up in the palace of Maharaj Dashrath. Then the time comes that he should take initiation and go to Gurukul of Vasishtha Muni. So the Lord goes to the Gurukul of Vasishtha Muni, and he studies under the tutelage of Vasishtha Muni. Very quickly, the Lord learns all the Vedic sciences, and particularly the art of archery. So once the Lord has graduated, he comes home, and then Vishwamitra Muni comes. Now Vishwamitra Muni was waiting for a very long time that there must be a personality who I can give all the knowledge, particularly the knowledge of archery, Dhanurved, to him. So he comes with the pretext of asking Lord Ramchandra to protect him from the atrocities of Rakshasas. So we see that this is beautiful play going on. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we find the origins of this play, Ramayana. And that origin comes from Kashyap Muni and Diti. with his progeny. And then we go back to hear this story from Lord Brahma, how Brahma's 4 sons, Sanak, Sanatan, Sanandan, Sanat Kumar, they go to Vaikuntha and they end up cursing Jay and Vijay to take birth as demons. And Jay and Vijay accept to become demons. So in first birth, they become Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. In second birth, they become Ravan and Kumbhakaran. And then in the third birth, Shishupal and Dantavukra. Then there's fourth birth. So this birth is to give them prem. In 3 incarnations, Krishna killed them. So he takes 2 incarnations to kill Ravan, to kill Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, Nrsingadev and Varaha. 2 incarnations to kill 2 brothers. Then he comes as Lord Ramachandra to kill these 2 brothers, Hiranyakashipu, Ravan and Kumbhakara. Then in the 3rd incarnation, Krishna comes himself and he kills Shishupal and Dantavukra. But in the 4th incarnation, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, these Ravan and Kumbhakaran, Jay and Vijay, they come as Jagai and Madhai, and they get prem, the love of Godhead. Because Mahaprabhu doesn't kill anybody. But in all other incarnations, the Lord kills. He assassinates these demons. So Ravan and Kumbhakaran, they are in the background. If Ravan and Kumbhakaran did not take birth, then there would be no Ramayana. Ramayana only happened because Ravana was there. So all the demigods, they approach Lord Brahma because they are completely frustrated, devastated. Their lives are in danger because of Ravana and Kumbhakaran. So I want to talk a little bit about Ravana's birth. And we will see parallels. We will go parallels. Ravana's birth first, and then how Lord Ramchandra then comes and kills him. So Ravana was born in a very aristocratic, or you can say in a very pure family. Rishi, Vishrava. So he had very high birth. He was born to Rishi Vishrava. And Vishrava Muni is the son of Pulatsi Muni. And Pulatsi Muni is the son of Lord Brahma. So this way, Ravana happens to be the son of Vishrava Muni. So he happens to be the grandson of Lord Brahma. Such a high birth. So he is the son of Vishrava Muni. Vishrava Muni was very famous for hearing the scriptures. And his father found him that he was, from his birth, he was very fond of listening to the scriptures, hearing the scriptures. So his name became Vishrava. So one time Vishrava Muni was performing sacrifice. And then he noticed that one young demon princess, Kakasi, was standing and watching him. So after finishing his sacrifice, he asked her, "Who are you and what brings you here?" So Kakasi said that I am a demon princess Kakasi, the daughter of Sumali, the great demon Sumali. And I've come here to with the desire of getting a son from you. So while the Muni was performing sacrifice, she was constantly thinking how nice it would be that I get a son from this Rishi. He is so powerful. So he was absorbed in these thoughts, lusty thoughts. So Vishwamuni accepted her, but he warned her that because you have been absorbed in this lusty thought while I was performing sacrifice, so your sons will be great demons. They will be very, very powerful, but they will also create havoc in the creation. So when Ravana was born, his description is in the scriptures that immediately, as soon as he was born, he was grown up. Similarly, when Kumbhakarna was born, he was grown up instantly. So the demons have this boon from Lord Brahma that when the demon female gives birth to a child, the child grows up immediately, instantly. So there's no childhood as such. Ravan, Kumbhakarna, and their sister Surpanakha, and the Vibhishan. Their brother Vibhishan, Ravan, Kumbhakarna, the three brothers, they perform sacrifice, they perform great austerities. So when Lord Brahma comes, they ask for boons. Ravan and Kumbhakarna, they all want to become immortal, and they want to become powerful, materially powerful. But Vibhishan, he asked Lord Brahma that if you are pleased with me, then please give me devotion to Lord Rama, devotion to Vishnu. So Vibhishan became a devotee, and these two became great demons. So under the tutelage of Shukracharya, Ravana became very, very powerful. And from his birth, he was having the qualities of Brahmana as well as demonic qualities. So he was a combination of a Brahmana turned demon. Very, very powerful. Then he pleases Lord Shiva by his austerities, and his purpose was to go and conquer all the great emperors and all the predominating deities. Once he received the boon from Lord Brahma, then he was going around conquering, going to Indra, going to heavenly planets, going to the Patal Lokas. So Ravana became the emperor of the world, so to say. He was so merciless that he would go and kill the father, brother of female, and then while the father and brothers have been killed and the girl is crying, he will bring those princesses forcibly to Lanka. So this way Ravana became very, very powerful, and he was misusing the boons he received from Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. His profession was to go and conquer and then bring those princesses forcibly to Lanka and make them his queens. So this was his profession. Anyone he saw, he would immediately want to capture a woman. So he became very, very lusty. Now that lusty seed, as Vishwamuni had predicted, the child born will be very lusty. He will be very powerful, very lusty. So Ravana was very lusty. One time he went to Kuber's kingdom. Kuber is the half brother of Ravana. Yaksharaj Kuber, who is the finance officer or treasurer of demigods. So he went to see Kuber, and he found that Kuber's daughter-in-law, Rambha, she was going somewhere. So Kuber, Ravana saw Rambha and immediately captured her. Rambha said to him, look, I'm the daughter-in-law of your younger brother, Kuber. So this way, I'm related to you, that I'm also your daughter-in-law. And how can you think so sinfully? But Ravana did not listen to her, and he raped her. When Rambha went to her husband, Kubera's son, so Kubera's son then cursed Ravana that if ever you rape a woman without her desires, without her consent, immediately your 10 heads will burst and you will die. And that became a boon in a sense that when Ravana abducted Mother Sita, Ravana could not touch Mother Sita because he knew that he was cursed by Kubera's son, that if he forces a woman and rapes a woman without her consent, his head will burst off. All these heads. So Ravana became very, very lusty. And all the demigods, including Yamraj, Lord of Death, they were afraid of him because of the boon of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. They could not do anything. One time Ravana went to conquer Lord Shiva, and he was so powerful that he lifted Mount Kailash. So Lord Shiva then increased the weight of Mount Kailash slowly, and Ravana's hand was trapped. So he cried, bitterly he cried. That's one of the reasons that he was known as Ravana, because he cried. So Ravana is one who makes others cry, and he cried at that time. But he was very powerful and very learned in the scriptures. He was very learned in the Vedas. Immediately Ravana then made a nice poetry, nice stotra, and is known as Ravana's stotra. Very beautiful stotra for Lord Shiva, and sang that stotra. Lord Shiva became very pleased, and then he gave him the khadag, the sword called Chandrahas. So with Chandrahas sword and the boons of Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, he was going and conquering everything. So this carried on for many, many years. One time, this Ravana came to fight with Lord's father, Maharaj Dashrath. And before fighting Maharaj Dashrath, Ravana had also fought with other kings of Raghu dynasty, in which Lord Ramchandra appeared. Ravana used to come, fight, conquer the kings, and then take away their possessions, particularly women. One of the king of Raghu dynasty who was defeated by Ravana then cursed him. To demon, Rakshas, you consider human beings like animals, like they are subhuman. Ravana, he established his own kingdom, Rakshas Rajya. and his own philosophy. Vayam Rakshama. We are Rakshasas. So Rakshasas, they had so much pride of being Rakshasas. Ravana said, no, Vayam Rakshama. We are Rakshasas, superior to human beings. So Ravana considered human beings as inferior to Rakshasas. He was cursed by a king of Raghu dynasty that the Supreme Personality of Godhead will appear in this dynasty and will crush your heads. He will be the cause of your death. So earlier on, we just sang Vitarasi Dikshurane Dikpati Kamani. Lord Ramchandra killed Ravana and he distributed those heads in all 10 directions for them to be very happy because they wanted to see his heads crushed. And nobody could do it. Nobody could do it. One time, Ravana fought with Lord Parashurama. He also fought with Kartikeya Arjuna. So he fought with all great kings. There were only very few kings who were able to subdue him. Subdue him, but not kill him. Nobody could kill him apart from Lord Ramchandra. So one time, Ravana went to Bali Maharaj's kingdom in Sutalok. And there, he was about to conquer Bali Maharaj, but then he faced Lord Vamandev. So Lord Vamandev gave him a slap and he ended up in Sri Lanka, in his kingdom. So he could not conquer Bali Maharaj. Then this Kartikeya Arjuna, he was very powerful. So he defeated Ravana. Another person who defeated Ravana was Bali, Sugriva's older brother of Bali. So Bali defeated Ravana and he kept him under his armpit for 6 months. And he was going around visiting many places, holy places. And then Ravana became very embarrassed, so became his friend. So in order to subdue Ravana, the Lord took birth as Lord Ramchandra. So he is about to be coronated as the Prince of Ayodhya. Maharaj Dasrath is very happy and the coronation has taken place. Then demigods become very concerned that if the Lord becomes the king of Ayodhya, he won't go to the forest, Mother Sita would not be abducted, and therefore we will lose this opportunity to see this Ravana dead. So then Kaikeyi was made to, her intelligence was bewildered by Mother Saraswati, and she asked the boon for Lord Ramchandra to be sent in exile for 14 years and Bharat to become the king of Ayodhya. So Lord Ramchandra goes in the forest, but one of his purposes is to meet the sages. He's going to different places, Chitrakoot, from North India to Maharashtra to South India. And he's meeting so many sages, honoring them, listening from them, and learning from them, setting an example, learning from them. So Lord Ramchandra met Bharadwaj Muni, and he was sent in exile. He met other sages, great sages, Agastya Muni, who gave him many divine weapons. And finally, the Lord goes to Lanka and conquers Ravana. So this was an impossible feat, to build a bridge on the ocean then go and conquer unconquerable Ravana. So the Lord conquers Ravana and comes back to Ayodhya to rule the kingdom for some 11,000 years. So we see in the story of Ramayana that the Lord fulfills all his obligations as son, husband, friend, and even enemy. When Marichi is about to face death in the hands of Ravana, because Ravana told him, you go and you take the form of a golden deer, and I want you to go and delude Ram and take him away from Sita so I can abduct her. So Marichi says, now if I don't do this, this demon is going to kill me. But if I do this, then Ram is going to kill me. So it's better to be killed by Ram than I get liberation. So Lord Ramchandra is all auspicious. His killing, his loving is same thing. The Lord kills Bali, but Bali is liberated. He makes friendship with Sugriva, and Sugriva then enjoys the friendship with Lord Ramchandra. He serves him. Finally, I just want to finish with one last story. That when Vibhishan comes to meet Lord Ramchandra, Vibhishan knows that Lord Ramchandra is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is very concerned that his brother has abducted the Universal Mother Sita. So he gives good counsel to Ravana, but Ravana doesn't listen to him. He insults him and kicks him out of the kingdom. So when Vibhishan comes to take shelter of Lord Ramchandra, all the monkey warriors and the bear warriors, they say, no, he is the brother of Ravana, we should kill him. Lord Ramchandra is asking, what should we do? So they say, all of them say, no, we should kill him or capture him and kill him. But Lord Ramchandra says, no. Vibhishan has come to take shelter of me. And there, the Lord says this verse in Ramayana. Sakradeva prapannaya tavasmi iti chayachate abhyam sarvabhutebhyo dadami tat vritam mama. This is from Yuddhakand, 18th chapter, verse 33 in Valmiki Ramayana. So he says, Sakradeva prapannaya tavasmiti chayachate. Anyone who comes to me and simply says, Tavasmi, my dear Lord, I'm yours. Abhyam sarvabhutebhyo dadami etad vritam. So the Lord says that this is my vow, that such a person would become fearless. This verse is very similar to Bhagavad Gita verse. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraj aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshishyami masucha. The Lord is saying, Sakradeva prapannaya. Anyone who comes to his shelter even once and says, my dear Lord, Shri Ramchandra, I'm yours. So I think in the coming celebration of Ramanavami, we should go to Shri Ram, the divine personality of Godhead, and at least say once, Tavasmi, my dear Lord Ramchandra, I'm yours. And then he will give us all protection we need. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll finish here. Do we have time to take any questions or comments? So we should finish here.
Yeah, Raghupati Prabhuji, thank you very much. I tell you, my koti koti pranam to your search and your study of the scriptures, because you're able to so easily combine the scriptures from Bhagavatam to Ramayana. And how right you are that there's so many different Ramayans in Bharat. Due to Bharat is so rich of culture. I mean, so much culture is lost due to invasions of Bharat over many, many years. And so many lordships, deities are lost. But you have the wonderful knowledge that you are able to study that so many scriptures and combine them. I look forward to each time when you come on and give class, because you bless my ears, because my study is very poor. But listening to the Lord's devotees to narrate the scriptures and the verses, the honor was all the devotees that are listening this evening to your katha. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhu, for giving us the opportunity.
No,
And it's just so wonderful to just share some Krishna Katha, Ram Katha,
Jai Ho.
the devotees who like to hear. Hare Krishna.
Jai Ho. Thank you very much, Raghupati Prabhu. Koti Koti Parnam again to your studies and your search of the scriptures. Dandavat Parnam. So now we'll go to the temple for
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai Ho. Jai Raghunandan.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice provision, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Now we'll go to the temple for the evening Aarti and the Kirtans from the temple. Jai Ho. So if we can unmute the temple.
This is sheets. You can follow. This is the Gora Aarti. So I'll sing and then you sing after. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
This is the upper Jaya Jaya Gora Chandi Aroti Kashoba Jaya Gora Chandi Aroti Kashoba Jaya Jaya Gora Chandi Aroti Kashoba Jaya Jaya Gora Chandi Aroti Kashoba Jana Vikata
विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रतकाचार्य श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद महाराज की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रतकाचार्य श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत गोस्वामी ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद महाराज की जय। साक्षात वैराग्य मूर्ति श्रील गौरकिशोरदास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। सच्चिदानंद श्रील भक्तिविनोद ठाकुर महाराज की जय। वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूप श्री सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ स्वामी की जय। नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। श्री श्री सचिनंदन नेताय चांद की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। नीलाचल क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। मायापुर नवद्वीप मथुरा धाम की जय। श्री श्री राधा गोकुलानंद राधा माधव राधा रमन भगवान की जय। सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय। गिरिराज गोवर्धन महाराज की जय। मधुसूदन महाराज की जय। मणिमा महाराज की जय। बजरंग बली हनुमान जी महाराज की जय। गरुड़ जी महाराज की जय। भक्ति देवी श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की जय। गो माता की जय। रविवार अनुष्ठान की जय। महोत्सव की जय। इस्कॉन कवेंट्री की जय। परमानंद श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द सुन लिबर्टीज। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द सुन लिबर्टीज। All glories to the similarities, all glories to Shri Prabhupada Guru Maharaj ki Jai Ho, Jai.
Jai Ho. Thank you very much, Pajari Prabhuji, and thank you very much, the team at the temple, Satish Prabhu, Jai Radhe, and Naval Prabhu and family. Wonderful kirtans for the rest of us to enjoy while we sit at home and taking darshan of your good selves and the Lord. So now we'll read out the names for Lord Nrsingadev prayer. So this is the latest version I have, which is updated the 21st of March. If there's any changes, please think of the individuals that you know of in your heart while the temple is doing Aarti and singing to Lord Nrsingadev's for mercy for each and every soul. So for the current list is the war in Ukraine and the devotees that are supporting there. Then the departed soul, the Chief Constable Simon Cole of Leicester. He was very favourable to the devotees and the temple on the Rath Yatra program that was done there. And then the leaders, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, His Holiness Lokanath Swami, His Grace GKS, and the many other Iskcon gurus and leaders suffering around the world, and all their care teams. And then we got the individual devotees list that require speedy recovery and good health, which is Jyoti Mulahan, His Grace Akinchan Das, His Grace Dev Kinandan from Botswana, Vinod Manjari Devidasi, Sudesh Kular, Bhaktin Rita from Leicester, Rita Vadgama's mother, Prem Manjari Auntie, Shraddha Auntie, Srimati Prem Mulan, Shanti Ben Solanki, Chi Guru Srinivas, Gaura Hari Prabhu and his mother, John Devinder, Kishore Bhai Thakur, Daniel Huss, the many devotees and congregation members who have recently tested positive for COVID. As we are well aware, the COVID, it sometimes goes down, sometimes goes up, different variants come out. So let's pray to Lord Nrsingadev to take care of us and give us shelter at his lotus feet. Shri Lord Nrsingadev ki jai. जय गौरांग शिरो नरसिंह देव की जय भक्तवार महाराज की जय जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय प्यारे पूज्य गुरु महाराज की जय गौरा प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल. So we just got a few announcements to make before we end the evening. So what I did forget was it was Vidar Prabhu's birthday and Pragnesh Prabhu's birthday as well in the week. So on your prospective days, dear devotees, I hope you had a wonderful day, and koti koti pranams to you both. Gauranga. So we also have Ram Navami coming up. But before we get to announcing the Ram Navami program, I would like to encourage the devotees, because as you would have seen while the camera was spanning around the temple, that the temple's actually open and there's demarcations on the floor where families can book a slot, and there's like 7 slots over the weekend. So if you would like to book a slot on a Saturday or a Sunday, you need to make contact with Guru Sevak through WhatsApp and your slot will be booked. So we must take this opportunity now when the temple is opening to take the mercy of the Lord, as long as we are in good health, so we don't pass any viruses on to anybody at the temple. So if you are in good shape and good health, please book a slot. And now moving on to Ram Navami, which is on Sunday. There will be a message gone out. If you are not already part of the WhatsApp group messages, please join the WhatsApp, because that's the most up-to-date way of contacting everybody at once. He'll send a message all at once, and it makes it a lot easier for Anuragi and other devotees that are trying to reach out and let people know what's going on the week. So for the Sunday, there will be, each home will be able to cook for the Lord, and there'll be a noon offering. So as all the devotees are aware of the different standards that you need to maintain and keep when cooking for the Lord, so please meet those. And then at noon a link will be sent out by the devotees, so you can connect to the camera at the temple where the Lordship will zoom in zoom into your offering and bless it, so you can have prasadam on the day that you have fasted. Jai Ho. And there are also evening programs every day, so not just on a Sunday. So if you joined us for the first time, again, if you would like to join the WhatsApp messaging group, please send your details to Anuragi and to which group you would like to join. Is it just a notice group? And there's also the Coventry Inspiration group, where different messages and different kathas are sometimes sent out. So if there's any of those you would like to join. And also every evening after the Aarti, the devotees are reading. Currently they are reading Ramayana. So if you like to join in right up to Ram Navami, to reading the Lord's Katha. So please forgive if there's any offences made in announcing anyone or introducing anyone. So until next Sunday, please take care of yourself and others around you. Gauranga.